Mountain biking, or MTB, is more than just pedaling. It's a way of seeing the land differently. Off-road, downhill, uphill, through gullies, through backtracks and cracks in the community. You ride wherever two wheels can carry you. Barbados doesn't have endless mountain ranges, so we create our own challenge. Glides become downhills, fields become trails, gaps in the village become paths. For years, small groups have been pushing the culture forward, riding the streets, slipping through neighborhoods, keeping alive a scene most people never notice. The trails are the heart of it. They don't appear on a map, they're cut by hand, cleared by machete and shaped one corner at a time. A good trail isn't just dirt, it's flow, it's challenge, it's freedom. For the few riders here, trails are escape, connection, and community all in one. Some people come to the trails to ride. Others come to build. Long before anyone knew his name, he was just a man with a cutlass, walking into the bush, clearing, searching for a path of his own.
Well, early in the years, I used to go on my downtime, and I would take my walker, my tools, and I would go in the country in St. Andrew, St. John, different parts of where the bicycle community would normally have a lot of trails throughout the gullies and throughout the general areas. I sat one there at one of the jumps, one of the features they have in one of the trails, and I was just thinking to myself, you know, how could I do this and kind of elevate it, give back in some way to the community in general. I started to seek around in terms of who in the community I could probably relate to, who I can probably connect with. And I connected with a gentleman by the name of Manning, one of Barbados' famous rally drivers.
I'm Trevor Manning, or Electric Micey to some. Proud member of the mountain bike group. All the way out. And then comes round the top of the factory hill. Comes out then to the road, and then he will come back down the road. But what I'm gonna do is my loop now is coming back. I've been building trails from day one and riding bikes and everything, and it's just my number one passion really. But from a very early age, I just love the outdoors and just being one with nature, you know. There's nothing better. I've never felt better other than when I'm out in nature, you know, building trails, riding bikes with friends. It's probably the best life, really.
He already had a program going on with some trail clearing and stuff. And in having the conversation with him, he brought me on board to do some trail clearing for the bicycle community. So from there, I was doing it, you know, as like a job.
That we had like 5 or 6 trails that we built, and then everybody got busy, and you know, the usual life thing gets in the way, and the trails were falling in disrepair and whatnot. But we love riding them so much, I realized we had to try and get somebody that shares the same passion and whatnot to help upkeep the trails, and that's where I met Roland then, and we collaborated, and he had the passion for mountain biking and building trails as well, and we got together and we came up with a little package that worked out for everybody paying a little something, and I think we clear the trails once every 2 months, and it works out perfect. You know, we get time now, more time to build trails and put the time in building trails, and then Roland maintains them, so we don't have that extra work and time on our hands to do, and it works out really well.
Most days when I come out on the trails, let's say I come out at about maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'm out here till 6 p.m. Most of the time, till it's like basically dark. It allows me to get more work done, you know, get more stuff in and express myself a bit more in a general place. You know, it was just something I love to do. I love to be in nature. I love to be around the trees, you know, the birds, you know, the plants. I love to get my fingers and my hand in the mud. You know, I love it. I love when the rain falls and I'm out in the trails. It gives me it's like a bath, just like a natural type way. You know, I can just ground off a lot out here. So grounding off for me will be more like the quality time I spend in my thoughts and being able to express that in the work that is visible after. Some people will more ground off, let's say, you know, being barefoot. For me, see it more like an inner awareness. So this is another type of grounding also, just connect with the tree. You know, give my thanks for being out in nature. You know, the tree roots connected into the energy flowing through the earth. And as we connect with it, you know, it flows through us, flows through me. That allows me to navigate, you know, where it will start. So a lot of the times as you go through the trails, you'll find lots of different trees. You'll be cutting the trees, the plants, and so forth. So most of the time, I also give an apology to the trees for cutting them down, you know, disrupting their peace, disrupting their space. But they understand. They understand. They actually, you know, give us a welcoming.
For him, the trails became more than exercise. They were alive. Building became a ritual. Each swing of the blade is a small prayer, each bend in the trail a kind of offering.
Before we really started to clear the trails, when it was first attempting to start this project. At that time, I had brought up my bike the morning to, you know, take a little ride after I cleared and what the case may be. So while I was clearing later in the evening, you know, in between, I had the bike parked on top of the hill, about what, 50 feet from me, roughly, not too far. And something just being lost away in the trails and clearing and stuff, I decided to take a peek at the bike. And when I peeked, I didn't see the bike. At that time, I had green handle grips, some fluorescent green handle grips on the bike. So when I was looking for that as the color code to be looking for. And when I looked, I didn't see the handle grips. So I went up, I hiked up, I checked, the bike was gone. Just my bag and my gloves was left in that area. And that kind of threw me in like a spin. When is that, you know, I finally got a bike after like 2 years of trying to put up a bicycle. Everyone was riding and stuff, but it was still trendy. Trails was more like the balance in between me not physically riding. I was also getting to do something that still connects to the bicycle community and the hike community and so forth. So after losing the bike, it kind of threw me in a spin for like a couple of days. And I actually took a break. I tried to look for the bike, I didn't find the bike. I look around and, you know, eventually news got out to the general bike community. Lots of different persons reached out and just asked what's going on. And many people were looking for it on the street and stuff like that.
I would keep my eyes out. A couple other people said that they think they saw something, but they couldn't confirm. So hopefully we could get something organized and you could get back your bike. But especially for Roland, I just say in the backfield, but also, you know, the man put in real work over the last couple of months to try to help, you know, get the trails ready for everybody to ride. And the money that he would have collected, I know he poured that into getting back up a bicycle because he was a little bit down on the luck. So he gotta be feeling that bicycle gone. So I will really keep for you to get back though.
And it's only after like about 2 weeks or so, I started to get back the inspiration again. And it's there, I think it was then, that was the point where I recognized that it's not the bike, it's the trails. And that's where it really became more of a inner calling, you know, and I found myself still coming out to the trails. I found myself still coming out on clearing and still trying to put in the effort. That experience kind of pushed me into the understanding that if you can't succeed maybe in one area, or despite the obstacles or the challenges that may seem to come in your direction, you can still find a way to you know, navigate throughout the storm, throughout the situation. And the trails became that form of a navigation.
His recovery process and the way how he was able to handle that rage, you know, that rage and disappointment and everything he wanted and then pour into the trails. That is what really brought about the existence of Rolling Hills Trail?
Joe's a rider. I ride bicycles too. From back in the day, in school days and what the case may be. And we were not like buddies, like close buddies, but we knew of each other from the bicycle community. So a few years back, we kind of connected back in the general area where we basically grew up. I grew up. So from time to time, he would be that inspiration that would encourage me, everybody might not be doing this, but this is something I can see that you love, keep at it. And he will always encourage me in terms of like viewing things from a positive mentality. You may not have all the resources, you may not have all the tools, you may not have all the things that everyone say that you should have, but as long as you have the belief in yourself, that trust in yourself, and that motivation to carry through. And having that type of counsel, that type of encouragement, over time kind of became like a benchmark for me of, a strength, which eventually from that stage then he was the one who was on the journey with me.
Yeah, good start, so good, so good share course, good.
So from there we just connected on a more greater level. We read a lot together. And I shared my views with him, I shared my dream with him, the ideas I have. And a lot of those ideas and stuff he was also on stream within himself too. So in building the trails, we came together, built the trails, and we were able to express those visions, those ideas together in our interaction in the trails. Sometimes he will come out, once or twice he will come out, and then it became more a regular thing, then it became more like it's our thing. And from there is where it connects back into like the actual existing trail routes. Some of the routes are like my routes, some of the routes are his routes, and they're like a collaboration of both coming together. So he inspires a lot of the routes, I inspire a lot of the routes. And like it's normally a balance of our vision, it's like a vision coming together. So, thanks to him and the inspiration and the encouragement throughout the entire process. As we go forward together, it's going to even get better.
There's a gap here. We can fill in that gap there so that it could come off the cliff and at least right into the next section. What we're doing is filling in between the roots with some wood, some trees, and then we can put some mud on top of it so it come like, kind of like how that come in. Put some rocks on top of it. From here, you got a track there. Nice and solid. And that was the birth of Rolling Hills. Just the hard work. We just coming together, going up, and just putting in the work. Sometimes, it's just like grass and hill and mud and rock, and we just gotta just hammer through that just to create the path. And sometimes it's overwhelming just seeing the work. It's no easy work. Yeah, the one thing here is when you gotta clear a path, clear a new path. Just cutting down the trees and then gonna mold the mud so that it's rideable. And that was really crazy part. So this is the part here was too steep to turn, so we're trying to get it in. So I'm gonna pull up this trunk from here, cut on this tree, take all this mud and pull it up so you get a little berm, and go from there. It's a lot of manual work when you gotta be cutting and pulling hands down and working. It's easy to get injured. It's stressful. You get dehydrated fast. You have water. And Roland is the type of person that will be in trails the whole day. Just the whole day, just working. And when he leaves, it is almost unbelievable seeing the work that he put in and how beautiful it looks.
We're doing some trail work up here in the gully. So we decided that we're gonna connect. This is in the St. Thomas area. And we can connect it over to the gully side. So we can transition riding, hiking, just being able to transition from one point to the next. So we're roughly in the heart of it. It's been a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of effort. Each day when we come out, sometimes we just create like a whole fresh path, like a whole different route that, just kind of like appears out of the blue. And as we transition and we do the clearing and stuff like that, it's becoming a full work of art. We're really trying to create like a bike park vibe, hiking park, where you can come and just have a grand space, a grand area that you can hike, ride. Is long enough that you can kind of do multiple loops. So eventually there will be a stage where we'll like to give a request out to the bike community and the hike community so that they're free to come on down, you know, just hike through, you know, come and see what's really going on, you know, take a little tryout to see if it's something that meets their standard, meets their pleasure.
So there, when the riders actually came to Roland Hills, it was a blessing.
Wait too much so hard on the rock. Huh? Yeah, you gotta roll. You gotta break before you rock and then roll it. This is like going down too. You got it.
Yeah.
Now, is your problem though? Control our speed. You good. You had it good. Control it nice. I tell you the top brake when you get here. I should go off. Yeah.
Yes. Steery, yeah.
You can't know good though. Handle yourself.
So it was still a blessing regardless of Roland not having a bike, being able to see people enjoying themselves riding down the trails, and the feedback that we get was ultimately amazing, you know. And it just shows the love that he have from within. Through Roland's experience with the trails, he was able to craft something that was fun, challenging enough, interesting enough to entice the community to want to come and ride it, and then have them enjoy themselves along with the challenges that the trail also present.
Slow down.
It's a lot sore from out there.
Here was the easiest one to come back. Jonathan, come do that.
Already chicken learning come back.
Yeah, well.
No problem.
I met him, okay?
Play out.
From get go. My ball cards.
I was coming here, huh? The phone. I was coming here. Just I would have come.
Right on the
high
part.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Mark came over.
You come here.
He's just.
You pull up.
You need something to get at the now you came, right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was gonna come over here. That's the line. Well, that's the one. Here's good too. Originally, this was the walking path for years, but the actual pipe.
Right.
So we decided rather than utilize that area, and we wanted to utilize this section, we got a fresh rope going right here.
Really?
So bottom here, parallel to that pipeline. So that takes you right back out.
Don't move.
But this side here, no, a bit more technical because you got a lot of tree rope.
Yeah, so Roland has done this fantastic job, and Joe, building Rolling Hills. And this is, it's a lovely, once again, lots of downhill, hillside area, lots of wooded area, a beautiful network of trails, the Rolling Hills. And they've done a fantastic job, again, on building that, and we enjoy riding that. It's very challenging, really. There's a lot of challenge in that. But, you know, it's good to see, the different groups building these trails. And, you know, I have my group, well, recently it's just been me building it. But you know, it's good to see the different groups building these trails, and now we all come together and ride them as a bigger group, and you know, that's what makes it nice for me, you know, because I don't want to be the only one building and riding my own trails. I like to you know, have somebody else aspect on how to build and and trying different things, and you know, that's what makes it exciting.
My main thing is to get people to come together. You know, come together doing something in unison, come together doing something in harmony. And with that harmony, I believe that brings balance.